That's right, last night, the triumphant return of the product herself, Angel Reese, finally made her way back to the court. Funny, a lot of questions going on out there around Angel the last month or so. Like, what in the bleep is going on? Exactly, why aren't you playing in games? We heard it was a back injury.
Chicago hyped it like a championship parade. Welcome back. Barbie splashed across promotions, social posts declaring her return. Then Angel Reese stepped on the court. By the end of the night, Chicago had dropped its 5th straight game, falling to 8 wins and 26 losses, sliding deeper into playoff danger. The highlight everyone passed around wasn't her scoring, it was her getting blocked in primetime. 3.
Angel low in her head. Oh! Has liked her spots here and likes her chances there.
The Sky's so-called superstar stepped away in the middle of a rough stretch, came back talking about self-growth. Dropped 19 points with 7 rebounds and 4 assists, but still couldn't stop another collapse. And that sets the stage for just how badly Chicago's grand marketing push backfired. Do you think Reese contributes to winning? Let us know down in the comments below.
Quitting again? It appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realize you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting unrivaled. It looked like it was happening again. But look what we have here. Look what we have here. Angel Reese has been found. She has surfaced.
She has surfaced, Chicago, made sure no one could ignore Angel Reese's comeback. The team's official social channel blasted out. Welcome back, Barbie, in bold pink letters, turning her first game in into a full-on event. They wanted this matchup with Seattle to feel less like game 35 of the season and more like a rescue mission. But once the ball was tipped, the gap between presentation and performance exposed itself immediately.
Cans, Elizabeth Williams forces a turnover. Banna with her head up to Angel Reese. Can't put it away.
Reese framed her time away as a period of reflection. She said she learned a lot about myself, which critics read as tone-deaf given the team slide. Fans didn't hear someone humbled. They heard someone who had checked out during the most desperate stretch of the season. That's why this return carried heavier meaning than just points and rebounds. It was about credibility, about whether she could still position herself as the centerpiece of Chicago's.
We're so back! Bang! Hexagon, polygon, octagon, it don't matter. Turn it on for pecan, butter pecan. Bang! Rebound. Bang!
Hasn't played in 3 weeks. Maybe her legs are fresh. She can jump higher.
No! Bang! She's played in 24 games this year. She's been blocked 48 times.
According to my advanced analytics, she's getting 2 bang bangs per game.
Bang bang!
The game itself offered a harsh answer as I magged Gore's block. Later posted by Seattle's social team became the frame. Everyone replayed within hours what was supposed to be the highlight of Reese's big night. Turned into a viral clip mocking her arrival. Reese did what she usually does, barking after ordinary plays, but it only amplified the sting each time she came up short. The staged heroics and the encore products simply didn't match. Yes, she scored 19, but what people remember is the social media clip. For fans, the whiplash was instant.
Missed 10 games, and you're still top 4 in the league in total turnovers.
I said swiper, no swiping! Bang! I know you're a better bowler than you are a basketball player, but I thought we were going to save that bowling pass till next year. Bang! You want some maple syrup with that pancake? Bang! Like Mr. SquarePants once said, you know what's funnier than 24? How about an 8-26 record? Bang!
One moment. They were told this game would flip the Sky's trajectory the next. They were opening Twitter to find Reese trending for the wrong reasons. Instead of dazzling highlights, they watched their supposed savior turn into a meme cycle. And when a player's comeback campaign is remembered more for an opponent's block than her own bucket count, that says everything about how it landed.
We missed you. We missed you, Angel. You're back. You're roaring back, and I'm sure you came back and led the Chicago Sky to victory. Okay. No? Okay. It's been a while, and I'm sure you came back to a sellout crowd that could not wait to see you or not.
The Sky still lost 94-88, a tight enough score to feel salvageable, but it extended Chicago's skid to 5 straight and left their playoff hopes in serious jeopardy. Whatever glow her stat line carried, it vanished under the weight of another loss. So while the marketing insisted this was the return of a winner, the reality suggested something else entirely. Chicago didn't just advertise Angel Reese. They built around her like she was the missing piece to a contender. And that's where the real story starts to unravel.
Only 6,724 fans showed up to the Wintrust Arena. Yeah, it holds about 9,500 fans, so we're talking roughly 3,000 fans away from being sold out to see the return of Angel Reese and the defeat of the Chicago Sky against the Storm.
The Storm Chicago's gamble on Angel Reese wasn't just about drafting a promising rookie last year. They built their entire brand around the idea of her as a savior, the kind of player who could step in and instantly shift a struggling franchise's trajectory. Every off-season move, every media soundbite seemed to reinforce the same message. This was Angel's team. Now bold on paper maybe, but in practice, the results have been anything but convincing.
Need Angel Reese so we can win, win, win! Win? Since when has Angel Reese contributed to winning? The Chicago Bravado were routinely getting their ass kicked when she was healthy. Outside of the female sons from Connecticut who seem to be losing intentionally, the Chicago Bravado are the worst team in the league.
Now, off-season is a perfect example. The Sky didn't settle into a patient rebuild. They made moves that screamed urgency. The most telling Chicago moved the number 3 pick from the 2025 draft, Sonia Citron, to Washington. She's been thriving with the Mystics. Versatile, steady, and quickly winning fans over with her play and making a push for Rookie of the Year. Meanwhile, the Sky brought in veteran Ariel Atkins, a proven scorer and defender, as part of that same push for immediate results. The logic was clear. Give Reese the keys at forward, surround her with an experienced guard, and chase the playoffs. It looked like a reasonable formula if you only read the transaction notes. The problem is none of it has materialized on the floor.
And no regrets for the rookie Sonia Citron with a magical move for the Mystics. She's fierce.
Citron. Citron, the back cut. Nice drop off the area. Fan gets the buffet.
Nice dime right there in front of the rim.
Citron is blossoming in DC, flashing star-level potential almost every night. While the Sky remained buried in the standings, Atkins is solid, no doubt, but she isn't the kind of force who can flip a team's record alone. And if the expectation was that Reese would be the missing ingredient to turn close losses into wins, well, the standings speak for themselves. Chicago was 8 wins, 26 losses after that loss, among the worst records in the league. And their playoff chances were effectively dead before the season was even over. And this is where the Reese, the winner story, starts to show its cracks. Marketed as someone who brought a championship mindset, she has yet to lead a WNBA team into the postseason. Critics seize on that reality every time the narrative gets repeated. It's been all hype, no results. To be fair, Reese has put up numbers that stand out individually. About 14 points and 12 rebounds a game. But even with those stats, the Sky haven't managed to turn her production into team success.
When Angel Reese is on the court, the only thing you're winning is the number 1 pick in the draft. Ironically enough, if the Chicago Bravado get the number 1 pick in the draft this year, they don't even get to keep it. It belongs to the Minnesota Linkers. So not only are you stuck with Angel Reese, you also don't have a draft pick so you can select a player that actually knows how to win.
The team's performance without her only fuels more criticism during stretches. When Reese sat out, Chicago sometimes looked sharper, more balanced, and arguably more competitive. That doesn't mean she alone is dragging them down. It's obviously a messy roster-level problem, but the perception is there, and perception matters, which leads to another uncomfortable question hanging over all of this. When Reese disappeared for nearly a month in the middle of that collapse, what really happened, the facts was
she had not finished any season. Her rookie year with the Sky, she tapped out. She did not finish with Unrivaled. She tapped out, didn't even show up to the playoff games. And then this season, post All-Star break, it seemed like that is all she cared about. She realized this team stinks. Tyler Marsh is a bum. Jeff P's a bum. They all stink.
When Angel Reese missed nearly a month of action, the explanations around her absence only added fuel to the questions surrounding her. The official word from the Sky was a back issue. And Coach Tyler Marsh even said at one point, if Angel didn't say, that's her story to tell. Reese herself called it a chance to learn a lot about myself to supporters that framed it as a needed reset. But to critics, the timing looked suspicious. She said, I'm so happy to be back playing the game that I love.
She said, I'm so happy to be back playing the game that I love. All right. So here we go, right here. This is Angel. She's going to be going down the court. Again, she's much improved from the field. She's made so much headway. Yeah. Okay. God, it's good to have Angel back. It really is. My goodness. How about right here? Angel Reese is the most blocked player in the WNBA, and believe it or not, I believe that's a real.
Her last game before the break came on July 29th against Washington, and she didn't reappear until August 19th. That meant 7 full games gone during a stretch when Chicago was still clinging to faint playoff hopes. The length of time was enough to matter with the Sky spiraling. Every missed start carried weight, and when she returned, it wasn't like she trudged back slowly. She was on an official 25-minute restriction, but still played 26 minutes, hitting 9 of 13 shots for 19 points, grabbing 7 boards, and adding 4 assists. Not exactly the numbers of someone easing their way back from a serious health setback.
But it seems like once she made the All-Star game, she said, that's it. I've done what I had to do. I don't need to stick around for all this losing. She's been saying her back hurts. Nobody knows anything about the injury. Nobody knows. So we start calling it out. Hey, are you quitting again? It appears you're quitting again just because your team not good. Just like rookie year, once you realize you stood no chance to win rookie of the year, you quit. You're quitting Unrivaled. It looked like it was happening.
That sharp contrast is what made the whole story hard for some fans to buy. Typically, when a team's centerpiece is sidelined, there are visible updates. Practice footage, rehab reports, or at least shots of them present on the bench. With Reese, updates were scarce. The Sky were tight-lipped. She wasn't a noticeable presence courtside, so people filled in the gaps themselves. Commentators tossed around labels like quitting and pump faking, while others insisted it was a legitimate injury paired with a mental reset. Both narratives existed at once, but the silence from the team is what let controversy grow.
And just like clockwork, Angel comes back, Cardoso's numbers go down. If I'm Cardoso, I'm wanting out of Chicago. I'm getting the hell out of Chicago. Seriously. Brittany Sykes, Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins had 24 for the Storm last night, and Angel's return. So, Angel, of course, so happy to be back, and she was welcomed back by so many fans. Oh, dearly beloved.
Oh, dearly beloved. And then there were the words she chose when she finally came back. Happy to be back playing the game. I love. I learned a lot about myself. That's what stood out. It didn't sound like the usual athlete. Post-injury checklist. No mention of therapy sessions. No talk about treatment milestones. None of the specifics fans expect to hear. Instead, it sounded vague, and because it came at a moment when her team was crumbling, that vagueness was easy to spin negatively. Meanwhile, Chicago's record didn't change much without her. They didn't suddenly improve, but they also didn't collapse further, which gave critics an opening. Maybe the Sky weren't built any worse without her, and maybe her absence wasn't the crucial factor. Supporters claimed to skeptics the stretch simply underscored a bigger pattern.
Capital L in love, or capital L for lost? Maybe? I don't know. I mean, so many people were happy. Reese report. so happy. You made so many people happy tonight. You made so many people that squeezed in just a mere 3,000 people short of selling out the arena. It was literally only 3,000 fans away from being standing room only.
So by the time Reese came back with banners, posts, and a big return, the story wasn't about how she would lift the sky. It was about whether her absence revealed exactly why the team's season was unraveling. And that contrast becomes clearer when you compare Chicago's chaos to another franchise that's been facing its own challenges, but handling them in an entirely different way. Meanwhile, Indiana has taken a completely different path. The Fever have dealt with injuries too, but instead of falling apart, they've leaned on their foundation and kept competing in every game. The results aren't flawless, but the trajectory feels real. Each outing looks like a step forward instead of another excuse. That's the difference when a roster's identity is deeper than marketing. An assassin.
An assassin! Kelsey Mitchell! Every game is a home game. Listen to the crowd in Connecticut. Final score in overtime. Fever 99, Sun 93. And Indiana completes the greatest comeback in franchise history.
Fever. At the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. She isn't just scoring or putting up numbers. She's making Indiana must-see TV. Reporters and fans alike note how her presence bumps attendance and turns every stop into an event. Injured or not, people buy tickets to see Clark, but they leave invested in the team. And unlike highlight reel scoring lines that vanish when the final buzzer sounds, the excitement she generates actually sticks. She's become the emotional core of a team. Fans want to follow, making sure she shows up for her team whether she will play or not. Unlike Reese, who you barely saw with the team during her 1-month hiatus.